I'm taking the under on him missing the whole season, by the way. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. Just 20 days till college football begins for Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, 18 for Tulsa. Coaches poll ranks the Sooners 19th preseason, Pokes and TU unranked. As position battles continue for good, bad, or indifferent, the countdown is on for what promises to be one of the most scrutinized seasons in Sooner history. Can Brent Venables turn a shocking 7-loss season, #1, into one that many in the local media predict will win 10 or 11 of the 12 regular season games? Spotlights on the defense, especially the Hosses up front. And will veteran Dylan Gabriel produce what's needed offensively, or rookie Jackson Arnold? And they must replace lost up to 6 productive offensive players now in the NFL. A really good running back, tight end, receiver, and 3 offensive linemen. Optimism, though, abounds.
Much further along. I'd like to say we're on a whole different planet, you know what I mean? Just year 2 in this defense, you know, developing that understanding of holistically what's going on. It helps us play a lot faster for sure.
Kind of like, you know, when you get a girlfriend and, you know, for 3 months you're still learning each other, but once you get to that year and a half, you kind of loosen up and being able to, you know, just get to know them more. So likewise with our, you know, relationships, you know, off the field and on the field.
The Cowboys put on the full pads for the first time this past week. A Saturday scrimmage that Mike Gundy described as good on both sides. The process of building a more physical ground game continues, and while we've talked some about the depth in the offensive line, what about the running backs? Ollie Gordon, Jaden Nixon, Michigan State transfer Elijah Collins, all sorting out the carries, and they've impressed the head coach when they've been out there so far.
Elijah was banged up and out for a few days. He'll be back tomorrow or Monday. Nixon got banged up. He was out a few days. He'll be back middle of the week somewhere, they said. So knock on wood, they're all going to be up and running here middle of the week. And they're doing good. It's very similar to the quarterback situation.
The Golden Hurricane will get going first. 18 days now until the opener against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Everything is accelerated for TU and Kevin Wilson's first year as head coach. New staff, new scheme, new everything at 11th and Harvard. With that requires a more discerning eye watching practice, because sometimes a good play may not be quite as good as you think.
You would like that, I mean, hopefully because it's good play, not because of bad play. You like to see guys, you know, I mean, why is one side making a play? Is it busted coverage? Is it a guy not blocking the right guy running the wrong route? So is somebody looking good because of consistent mistakes, or is a side looking good because the side's playing well?
All right, for the Sooners, yesterday's scrimmage saw important transfers like receiver Andrell Anthony and tight end Stogner make big plays. A defense that Texas torched and others dominated now has a bevy of quality safeties, edge players, a bunch of them, linebackers, several ends, a real chance to be better at all position groups. Transfers have been impressed with that kind of quality depth that I just told you about, and the intensity, the expectations, and the physicality of good-on-good practices, and evolving situations like that of Jaron Kanak. You just saw him a moment ago. Extremely gifted and athletic signee. Rarely played, though, because he was lost. He had never played the position. So a year later, he's playing fast, like the big league recruit Clemson expected when he was their commit, John.
Yeah, OSU had the Arlen Bruce situation developed this week. The receiver from Iowa who was charged with, quote-unquote, tampering with records related to the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigations probe into sports gambling. And according to a criminal complaint, placed bets, Bruce did, on 19 Iowa football games over 2 years. So he isn't taking part in team activities while the investigation continues. And as for those back on the field, Gundy says good things about the defensive front. Some depth there, singling out Colin Clay and Xavier Ross, 2 guys who've been there for a little while after Saturday's scrimmage.